Hello, and welcome to the FP Postbase End User Training presented to you by the FP West Coast team. Today we're going to look at the FP Postbase as pictured here. This is the unit with an automatic feeder sealer and the base itself with an onboard scale. So we'll start with the physical tour of the unit. Here we have the feed portion and the sealing portion. Along with this, as you can see, it has the feed area here to put in your envelopes or postcards, transfers back over to the sealing unit, and then on to the base itself. With the feed unit, it is adjustable to handle varying heights of documents and envelopes. With that, you can adjust it where it come out for the larger envelopes, all the way back down to the postcard size as well. With that, it does have an adjustment here where you can angle it by a small lever that's located here on the back left side. And what this does, it allows you to give just a little bit extra leverage to get those to pick up with that. Along with that, it also has a weighted arm that can be put down as needed or lifted out of the way. Along with this, there's some pickup rollers here. You're going to hear a slight beep as I release the sealing unit. So under here, as you can see, there's the different items in here with a heavy rubber piece that helps pull those apart as they're bottom fed through. Comes across here to a felt or a brush and sponge that wicks up the moisture and puts that on there. Then it has a compression roller right here that will go ahead and make sure that envelope is properly sealed. Along with this, as you can tell how easy this was to open, this is the same way that you would also clear a jam. By opening this up slightly back to the left, and your envelope will come out. Once that is accomplished, slowly but firmly close that, acknowledge that there was an error on the Postbase, and then you're back to shipping. So along with this, as you can tell on the Postbase unit itself, as it comes across, it's picked up there, and that is where it is franked or inked on the unit itself. So if you also notice on here, it has a onboard label dispenser. So that is used for items that are over 3/8 of an inch thick that will not transport through the opening in the Postbase there. Then as we come across on the unit, you can see on the base unit itself, there is only one button. And the reason for only one button is that will turn on. Everything else is handled through a touch screen as well. You do have the option of having a shipping and accounting software made by FP that's called mailroom 2.0 that will also operate this unit. You can see your sales rep for more detail on that as well. Anyway, as you can tell on here, there's an onboard scale, and that can be programmed as well. The nice thing about the Postbase is it can be either operated as an automatic unit as shown here, or as a semi-automatic unit for the 30 or 45 that will replace the feeder sealer as well. As we progress across and we're looking at the Postbase, we're going to show you how to feed envelopes, how it will seal as well, and then we'll move into the menu itself. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a stack of envelopes. We're going to throw them in under the weighted arm that we had shown you earlier, just for number 10 envelopes slightly, which we're good to go. Put this in. It does have an auto detect feature, and you'll see it will start up on its own here in just a moment as the print heads move into place. Remember, this is the 85 pieces per minute, and as you can tell, it is fairly quiet. The nice thing about it also is that it will process under whatever you have going on there as well. So another great feature, as I mentioned also, is that this is a programmable unit. So the same unit can be either a 30 piece per minute, 45 piece per minute, or 65 piece per minute unit. This one is the 85. And with the 85 and the 65, the onboard scale itself on top of the unit can either be with the 65 and 85, it will be a 15-pound scale. With the 45, it comes standard as a 10-pound scale, and with the Postbase 30, it comes standard as a 5-pound scale. Those are upgradable at any time. Please contact your rep for that. As we look at the base itself, we can tell that with this touch screen, it also is quite user-friendly. So what we'll do now is we'll do a quick tour of the main menu and how to maneuver in there. Looking at the Postbase, these two large off buttons, those can be programmed with either images that can be uploaded. Contact your sales rep for that information as well, or you can upload text messages into there. A good example would be like a website name, come visit us for our grand opening, other items like that, where you can turn that on and off per mailing. So the list would show up here, you would hit that, and it would print on your mailings. When you're done, conversely, you can take those off. Also looking across here, you can see the amount that's being metered. And in this case, it's a first class letter at 1 ounce, which is 48 cents. And remember, you do get a 1 cent discount on first class for using a postage machine. That's with the new rates. This element right here is signifying that differential weighting is off. We'll show you that here in just a moment. Today's date, we use cost accounting. So in other words, we're tracking our postage on the meter itself. And we have 3 shortcuts that are listed here on the front of the screen. First class letter, first class large envelope, and first class package. Okay. Then we also have a label where we can print that. So in this case, we have it showing up as 48 cents. We switch it over to label. Okay. Then if we hit start, it will print that as well. So the print head's moving into place, it'll print. Then another nice feature about our label printer is that when you come into that label printer, you also have the option of printing multiples. So let's say that I wanted 4 labels at the amount shown. So if I click save, it brings in 4 at 48 cents. We hit start, and then that will print. Now remember, that's used for anything that's going to be over 3/8 of an inch thick that we cannot get through the meter. So the nice thing about those is they do print very, very nicely and very, very clear as well. Okay, going back to the main menu here, we have product, so you can go in and change from first class letter to any other one. Manual postage, you can type in the amount if you know the exact amount. First class, obviously we have letters, large envelopes, packages, and postcards. The other nice thing about this is you can go through and use all of the different extra items: insurance, registered mail, collect on delivery, certified mail, non-machinable surcharge, reply mail, etc. So as you do these, like with certified mail, then it gives you other options that are also available with that: return receipt, etc. And as you can tell, also the amount has changed based on whatever we picked. So if we go back to the main menu, okay. Also, another great item in here is, which is quite popular, would be international as well. So then you would just go through, pick the country that you want. So in this case, we click first class to one of the countries, a letter, and it comes in. We click OK, and that brings us up 1 ounce letter. So conversely, if we had a letter that was that weighed a different amount, once we put it onto the scale itself, you'll hear a beep. Okay, so now what it's done is it's taken that 1 ounce one that we had programmed in there, and now it will go ahead and produce that as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit more weight so that it will change for us. So as I change this, and you heard the beep, so every time that you add or subtract something from the scale, it will acknowledge it. So in this case, let's say that I had a little bit larger envelope, and I put it on there. Now if you notice on there, it has changed the weight from 1 ounce to 4.1 ounce, and has also changed the amount that is going to be metered on that. So once we've done that, we can meter it and move on. So we're still on international. This is how quick and easy it is to go back to domestic first class. And there we go. So we're back shipping, etc. Now also on this, remember I said we had the cost accounting turned on. So if we look at that, we hit the cost count 1, and the unit comes when you turn it on. You can turn on the accounting and it shows this cost count 1, 2, 3, and 4. This can also be programmed, so you can put in sales, administration, accounts receivable, any ones that you want, and you can contact your rep for more detail on that as well. Also, looking across here, we have the 3 shortcuts that are programmed. We can also program in multiple other shortcuts, and these can be all the way down to an exact item. So if you use international large envelope and it weighs 1 pound 1 ounce, then you can program that in here, even to the specific country like Canada. So when you discuss that with your sales rep, please let him know or her know what ones you'd like to have programmed in there. Coming across here under menu, a common question is, how do I download Postage? Remember, the Postbase needs a high-speed internet connection. So when you click download Postage, it's going to show you the amount that was last loaded in there, and it can only be loaded in increments of $10. So you can load $10 or $20, but you cannot load $15. So then you would just type in the amount, click load Postage. About 45 seconds to a minute later, you have that postage. And you can get details on how you can get that hooked up to your checking account, or we can do check by mail as well for postage. Changing the date, very simple. You would just type in the date. Remember, you can always ship forward, you can never ship backwards. If you want to remove the date, you would type in all zeros and click save. And then when you want the date back on, you would come back in here and type the correct date. Select account. Here again, that's just another way of doing that from versus doing the main menu. Registers. This is pretty important. With this, this shows your postage that is still left on here to spend. So descending, that's how much money is in the meter, $818.85. Postage used, control total. So those two add that up, and then there's also a counter on here as well. And it shows the last date and amount that was loaded for postage as well. Print system. This is another important one. So once you hit print system, it gives you several options. You can do an alignment. The nice thing about doing an alignment is that it will show you both horizontally and vertically if the print heads are aligned. There are 2 print heads that are in the Postbase. So when you switch those out, you do need both of those. It also do cleaning of the print heads. Temperature calibration, so if you had it out in an extreme environment like a warehouse, you might want to adjust that. Changing cartridges is another good one. And then for information, here we have the percent that is still remaining. On print cartridges, I will show you that. That is a pretty easy item to do. But as you come across here, you'll be able to tell how easy it is. There are no other buttons or releases here at all. The only way to change out the print heads is through the change cartridges function in the main menu. The print heads move out of the way, and the unit will open here momentarily. Okay, so as you can see, this is the only way to access these. With that, these are HP style ink cartridge with some special ink in them that is available through your dealer. Press down, pull back, they release. They come out. Remember, do not touch the metal portion. To insert, just drop them in, press down and forward. And then once they're in, you just firmly but slowly close that later until it clicks. You go through and do a calibration on the print heads. And then you will ask to be doing alignment, which I will decline on this just for demonstration purposes, but you can follow the instructions in the user's manual. So this is the point where you would go ahead and do the alignment. So you would go through and print that out, take a look at it, adjust it as needed. Okay? Remote services, that will allow you to go through and get any updates for both rates and software for the unit itself. Manage accounts, you can show the list, you can clear all accounts, you can clear one account, or you can deactivate. Imprint offset, that is basically used to move the imprint on the envelope to the left only, and then you can move it back as needed. Piece counter, pretty straightforward. Special functions, print the advertisement only or the text message only, seal only, etc. auto postage download. That will allow you to pull postage in when you hit a smaller amount. System information. More than likely you will not need to access this unless you're on a service, or unless you call in for some service issues. The rest of these are pretty straightforward as well. Standby time, if in fact that you wanted it to the screen to turn off after a certain period of time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, etc. Manage PIN, this is where you can actually go in and add a security PIN number, so the only way to access the unit would be to enter a 4-digit PIN. Also, when you have accounting turned on and specific accounts, you can link a passcode to each specific account, but that has to be done with the programming, so please see your sales rep on that as well. And then obviously the decimal meter mode, that is for if you do any type of pre-sorting that the post office allows you to have further discounts. And that would pretty much give you a great idea of what the Postbase can do. And remember, this is one of the latest units that is out in the industry now. It's been extremely popular. We've got excellent feedback from our customers, and we're continually trying to improve it. So if you have any questions, please contact your sales rep, and we look forward to servicing you with this great unit here in the future. Thank you.